Things change constantly. And when things change that we really believed in, that just seemed like a wonderful, wonderful wish, it is really, really hard to let them go because it was just such a wonderful thing to believe in. It makes you feel wonderful. And public education is one of those things, which at the time when it was first instituted, it was really wonderful to get all those kids who would not otherwise be educated, not so much for themselves, but to have an educated population who can do all of the little jobs and the bigger jobs so much better because they are educated. And that built up the whole of society. It lifted us all up, and it was a wonderful and glorious thing. But now that we have got the society pretty much educated, and everybody sees that that is really an advantage to learn how to write and how to read and math, and everybody agrees with that. We need to move away from the public education model for just tons of reasons. One is the state should not dictate what your own child learns. That should be your business and your responsibility. You should bear the results of whatever education you give your child, and what it does for them and to them, and it will do both. And we need to have schools that compete with different ideas on learning. And some kids will go to a school with a terrible idea on learning, and their lives will be totally messed up. And some kids will go to a school with these new ideas that really work, and these kids will just flower and just be brilliant. And then we'll try to, then other people will copy the brilliant ideas. But yes, there will be winners and losers. There always is. And what we have now is a mediocre system that doesn't really save those kids that aren't doing well. They're still not going to do very well. And the ones who could do fantastic don't have the environment that they need. And if we start having competing schools and letting people create their own schools, certain pockets will create just unbelievable schools, and then we can copy what they've done. And we're going to have to move away from all of the past and all of the things that we believed recently and just carry on the core values of America. And that is what is so wonderful about this country: freedom to send your kid to whatever education you want, right? All of the values that are basic in the American can transcend this transition into, and that's the wonderful, wonderful thing about American principles, is they are broad and they get right at the heart of what humanity needs to do to grow.